There we go. We're live.
We're live with a news update.
Yes, I got to admit, when I saw this headline yesterday, I nearly spat my tea out. Paul Pogba, of all names, could be coming to West Ham United come this January. Won't be able to play till March. But the former Manchester United player, former Ballon d'Or nominee, much lauded in his years at Juventus before he went to Manchester United and they ruined him. Seems like he's going to come back. He's fancies a move back to the Premier League, and West Ham is a possible destination. Now, Dan, I know this is sort of come out of the blue, really. What did you make of this?
Yeah, it's being reported by Juventus sources and journalists, and I was like half surprised, half not surprised, really and truly. I think it's coming to the point with his ban coming up. A lot of clubs, I think, are going to be linked to him, and a lot of clubs will potentially be considering it. And I'm very 50-50 on this. Like you said, Pogba, on his day, he's a world-class player without a doubt, and he's a big name. And to have a player like that at West Ham, it is very, very tempting, but it does come with a lot of baggage, with it, and not played for a long time. It's a big risk. It'd be a big risk for West Ham.
He's a big character. He's a big character, Paul Pogba. He is a good player on his day. I mean, I remember watching some clips of him just prior to his ban, just as he was getting banned. Some of his passing range is phenomenal. Listen, he's one of them players where it seems like trouble follows him everywhere he goes. He was quality for Juventus before he went to Man United. He had a troubled time at Manchester United. But, when you look at his passing abilities, the way he plays in midfield, listen, he hasn't played for a long, long time. 31-year-old by the time he would play for us. He's going to want some big money, I would imagine. But is it worth taking a risk? I'm going to say yes. It would be worth taking a risk on him. When I look at, what we've got in midfield at the moment, we missing that box-to-box midfielder. And look, for all of his troubles, for all of his problems, we've had problems, Charles, here before, Di Canio is one, case in point. Problem child, couldn't never get on anywhere, got here and we took him in and he done well. And Arnautovic was another one. We took him in and we done well. But when you look at what we're missing in the midfield, listen, I know it's not going to be till March, so it's going to be a big risk, but hopefully he can give us another season. Box-to-box midfielder, for what's available, I don't think there's much better that we could attract.
Yeah, no, listen, I completely agree. And, a lot of people talk
Someone's
about...
saying Pogba is not a box-to-box midfielder. What is he then? If he's not a box-to-box midfielder, what is he? He's the case in point of a box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah. People think Souček's a box-to-box midfielder, and makes me laugh. But yeah, whatever you think, he's better than what we've got in that role, without a doubt. I did say that he does come with baggage. People say, look at his Man United form. Even when he wasn't great at Man United, he was still exceptional for France. So it's not to say that, he's just been a poor player for a while. Man United, I think, is at fault for a lot. And you see what they've done with so many quality players now. I mean, Anthony was seen as one of the brightest talents in Europe before going to Man United. And now look at him. He's an absolute laughingstock. So I wouldn't judge him too harshly on that. The money side, for me, after being banned for so long, I think he's going to have to revise his wage. I think he's on over 200 grand a week at Juventus, 250, something around that range. And he's going to probably have to revise that. And I think for West Ham, we're going to have to want to stick with our structure. But maybe you could pay him a signing-on fee to counteract that, So you sign him to, say, a 2-year deal, give him a little signing-on bonus, and get him on, say, 150 grand a week with the signing-on bonus. I think it's worth a punt if you can really get him. And the thing is, okay, he won't play till March, but he hasn't played a lot of competitive football for a while. So you get him in. I mean, since his contract runs out end of November, I think you said to me before, right?
End of November.
End of November, which means we can sign him anytime, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess he can come in 1st of December. I mean,
First
from what I've
September,
heard,
and get him training. Yeah, get him training with us. Get him up to speed with the team, and then you've got him ready to come. March, that last key run, he's ready to come in and make an impact and hopefully give us a boost and push for whatever we're trying to push for, whether it's survival or whether it's Europe. And then you get him ready for the next season where we can hopefully have an impact there. And I think it will sell a lot of shirts for the club. So yeah, I think I'm leaning towards it's worth a punt. I think.
Any chance of him being a Calvin Phillips?
That is, I don't think so. I don't think he would be as disastrous as Calvin Phillips. I think Calvin Phillips, I just don't know where his head's at. I mean, he's having a bad run at Ipswich as well. But yeah, there's always going to be a chance. But I just think he's genuinely, unlike Calvin Phillips, a world-class talent. The talent is there undoubtedly. And you get him in the right team, you get his head right, he'll make an impact. Like you said, the passing ability is something we really lack at the club right now. Absolutely. So, yeah, it's a risk. It is a risk because, like I said, he ain't played in 18 months. But at the same time, you don't lose that.
I think the people that are saying in the chat, I mean, we will get to some comments in a moment about don't give him a go, not worth the risk and all that. Listen, if you think we're going to go out in January and start spending again, you got to knock your head, mate, because there is no chance of that happening. Like, you got to face facts. We're not going to go out and spend another 100 million quid fixing the mess that there is now. Listen, I know it's not too much, but maybe a new manager comes in. Maybe that would deter us from signing him just now because a new manager might come in and not want him. But I think he's worth the risk. I do think he's worth the risk. Listen, I look at Pogba for France. I don't look at Pogba for Manchester United. I really don't, because you can look through Manchester United squad. Harry Maguire, different player for England than he is for Man United. Bruno Fernandes, started off flying. Marcus Rashford, another one.
And let's not act like he was completely disastrous for Man United. He still contributed massively to them winning a European trophy. He had good. He weren't like Anthony, where they signed him and he was just an absolutely awful player. He just wasn't up to his levels on a consistent basis.
Jadon Sancho is another one, another name.
Yeah. Toffee Blues says we're too good for him. Shout out Toffee Blues. We're too good for Pogba. Yeah, listen, at the moment we're not. At the moment we're not. I tell you that much. And yeah, the manager situation or the coach, situation, that's interesting because that's kind of up in the air at the moment. We don't know the future of Lopetegui. We'll have to see when we get out of the next few fixtures. But it's going to be up to Sullivan and Steidton to see if they think, regardless who the coach is, he's worth the risk.
Let's get some opinions from the chat. Yes to Pogba, no to Pogba. Look, I'm just putting my opinion out there. I'm not the one signing him. Don't worry about it. I'm not the one signing him. By the way, I got the Christmas jumper on today. I'm feeling very festive.
Oh, it feels early still.
I've had a mince pie. So yeah, but yeah, as I said, my opinion is I would take a risk on him if it was my money, but obviously I'm not the coach. Let me know. Tell me. Let's have a look. Pogba is not a box-to-box midfielder. He's a deep line playmaker. That's what I would say he is. He's not a. I mean, he can play in the 10, but I think he'd be a good addition. All right, everyone. Sorry. Go on.
Sorry, we had a Man United fan in there. Stay away from Pogba. He's a mercenary. Trust me.
I'll be honest with you. I think your fans are mercenaries. But there we go.
Yeah. It's the thing is, I don't know. Whatever his issues, you think 18 months out of the game not being played for you, you've got to think he's got to be hungry. He's got to be chomping at the bit to get back.
I would say this: he's going to be chomping at the bit. It probably. Look, I know Christian Eriksen's situation is a very, very different situation whatsoever, but they had to be very slow with him training and all that. Brentford took him on. He was fantastic. Quality. What do they say? Class is permanent, form is temporary.
Form is temporary. Yeah.
So You know, listen, he's got quality about it. He was £90 million 10 years ago. You know, he was world record transfer fee 10 years ago. And I know it's 10 years. I do know it's 10 years, and I know age plays a big thingy. But, you know, as I said, form is temporary, class is permanent, you know. And, you know, when with like Christian Eriksen, when he came back, I thought he was excellent, you know. Listen, I would take a punt on him. As Josiah Greenmoff says, Rodriguez is terrible. Pogba can do better.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? To have someone that's essentially a free transfer. Obviously, like I said, if we're going to have to pay him a signing on fee and agents fees and all of that, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not dipping into our transfer budget. It's a no-brainer.
John Pickett says, "Hi lads, sometimes the cast stuff works. We've got a good run out of Zabaleta. At the moment, we are the beggars, not the choosers, because of how the season's gone."
Yeah.
Polly Walnut says that I really can't repeat. If that was true, Polly, that would be bigger than him, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
This reminds me of Hayden Mullins keeping Mascherano out of the team. Only West Ham cannot want World Cup winner Pogba. Mental.
I get it. I do get the apprehension because we've been here so many times.
I'm going to be honest with you. Right? When I saw the headline, I turned around and went, "No fucking chance. No way I want him near my club." And then I started thinking about it, and I'm thinking about the midfield and what we've got in the midfield and, you know, what we could do within the midfield. And I was thinking to myself, do you know what? If we had a player that could pass the ball with these fucking brilliant wingers that we got, we might actually be in business. And then I thought, Paul Pogba can pass the ball. Paul Pogba can score brilliant outside of the box goals. We've seen it. You know, all right, it went fucking 10 yards out of the fucking out of play before it got to him, but we've seen it. We've seen it. World Cup winning midfielder. You know,
Dean said we already have one World Cup winning midfielder.
Rodriguez.
Yeah. technically he is. Although Pogba actually played a big part in that World Cup.
Yeah, he actually played in that.
He played a massive part in that World Cup.
Why the fuck? Sorry. Oh, sorry, mate. Why the fuck would he want to join West Ham? Delusional as always. He's just out of work, mate. You know, why would Christian Eriksen want to join Brentford? Because they want to get their way back into the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what? He's just gonna. I'd rather not play than, you know, play for West Ham. Like, I don't think he's gonna.
Let's be honest. There's no way back for him to Man United unless there's a miracle. Unless the new manager decides, you know, he wants to take a chair. He's not going back to Juventus. There'll be smaller clubs around Europe looking at him. Newcastle will be looking for him. That could be a big temptation. But he might like London. He might like the thought of living in London. He might like the thought of coming back to the Premier League. He might like the thought of, you know, joining a team that won a European trophy last year. I don't know.
You know what? It'd have been so perfect if we still had that French-speaking core of the Zuma and you know, Aguirre, Benrahma, that little French contingent. That would have been perfect. But we got Areola still. So, but El Chico says Pogba has more creativity than our whole squad, bar Paqueta, who hasn't really created much lately. But yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's the perfect balance with Alvarez. And this is what I'm saying. People are talking about Rodriguez versus Pogba. Like, I see Rodriguez as a defensive midfielder.
They're very different players. They're very different players.
Rodriguez and Alvarez shouldn't really be playing together. Rodriguez and Alvarez should be competing for the same position. And then you have someone like a Pogba next to him. You know, it's like, and that's the thing. So what we've done is we got rid of James Ward-Prowse and we didn't really replace him. And like Pogba is basically like a super upgrade on Ward-Prowse, the way I look at it.
Only worry is can Pogba stay fit? He's been having major problems for the past few years. He did have some injury problems. Yeah, you are right. He in fact, since he went back to Juventus, he did have some major injury problems. 18 months doing nothing can help.
Yeah, I would hope he's not just been doing nothing. Obviously, he's been training, but I hope he's been rehabbing and working on those problems. Do you know what I mean?
Of course he would.
To try and be able to come back. Like I said, it is a risk, but no risk, no reward. We could sign him, and he could flop, but we could sign him, and it could transform our team. it's one of those things. It's not a given. So yeah, you just got to balance up the risk versus the reward, and I think the reward slightly outweighs the risk.
Be exciting though, right? Right now we have the dullest motherfucker in the league. I'm fast.
Midfield. Okay. The dullest midfield.
I'm sure you're saying motherfucker there, mate.
Who's he talking about? No, he said we have the dullest midfield in the league. I'm faster than what we have.
I reckon he's talking about Rodriguez.
All right, Moshe, confirm with that. Who's he talking about? Who's the dullest motherfucker in the league? Who's it?
Rodriguez?
Is he the...
I don't know. Maybe he means midfield. I just thought he meant motherfucker. That's what I've read it as.
Midfield. See, he said midfield.
Sorry. Right midfield, please. I'm faster than what we have, and I'm 22 stone. Something to lift the truth, fan base.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but he's right in the league as well as the midfield.
Yeah, no, he's right. He is right. I completely agree. It's such a problem. Yeah, and it's just I think it's massively worth a punt. I think it gives the whole fan base something to get excited for, a boost, and like I said, sells a lot.
Rapid Fox Sultan says Pogba is exactly like Paquetá. They play exactly the same way. We might be losing Paquetá. So that'd be handy.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine that, like Pogba just comes off a ban and signs for West Ham, and then we just lose Paquetá to a ban.
Yeah,
yeah.
That'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
That would be, yeah. It's do you know what I mean? And Rodriguez. This is a good point actually. About Rodriguez, Matt Powell. If true about Rodriguez, would you stop playing him if he doesn't want to be here anymore and play Alvarez and Souček in January? Yeah, so there was talk about Rodriguez being unhappy.
Well, if he don't want to be here, get him out of the fucking team now. I'm not joking, and I've said this about every player. Like, it could be Declan Rice when he was playing for us. It could be Jared Bowen, could be Mo Kudus, could be Lucas Paquetá. And I've said it about Lucas Paquetá. If you don't want to play for you, don't play for you. You know what I mean? Like, don't have them playing for you because they're no good to anybody if they don't want to play for you. Rodriguez, with all due respect, he hasn't exactly pulled up any fucking trees since he's been here. What is he unhappy about? Is he unhappy about losing? Because I don't want players coming here that are unhappy about losing when they're in a fucking team that are losing. Do something about it.
I will say this. I saw the initial post about this and people sharing it, and the source was absolute just garbage.
Yeah,
source.
Nonsense.
It wasn't.
I'm just saying in general. I'm not just digging out Rodriguez. I'm just saying in general. If somebody doesn't want to play for you, there's no need for there's no need to play them. I wouldn't play them. They're useless. They might as well be playing nobody. And I say that about any player in the thing. And if you are unhappy, if you're in a team that's losing, you've got the ability to do something about it. If you can't do nothing about it, then fuck off.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
I mean that in general.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People was generally slating Rodriguez because of this story from a bad source. So I'm not going to, if it is true, then yeah, okay, like we can move him on. But at the end of the day, what we've got Rodriguez now, they need to figure out even to get the best of him and if he should be starting, who should be starting. But this midfield pairing of Alvarez and Rodriguez just doesn't work. And we need a spark in that midfield. And yeah, absolutely. Pogba could be up. I've advocated for more pace in the team. Pogba's not going to be that, but like we said, he's going to be that creativity in the midfield. So yeah, honestly. So we've got questioning what day it is. Great impromptu show. Yeah, you'll see a bit more of this, reactions to stories and all of this stuff as we ramp up. It's all going to be coming thick and fast.
As soon as January comes, it's going to be really thick and fast, isn't it? So might as well start getting ready for it now.
So he's a bit of a maverick, Pogba. He's sort of someone that kind of fits in at West Ham for good or for bad. We do tend to gravitate towards them. So Dan, the feelings are mutual. He don't want to be here. His performances suggest that, and we won't miss him. As Nick says, move on. Way too slow. Good player, but suited for a team like Man City, not West Ham. Well, I think his performances have been hit and miss for sure. I don't think he's been as bad. Rodriguez. That first half against Spurs, I thought he was unbelievable. He's had some good games. If you ask Scott, he's been brilliant. He's been one of our best players. If you ask Scott, but
Scott thinks fucking. He thought that Diego Poyet's son was the fucking answer.
Oh yeah.
Elliot Lee was going to fucking pull up any trees.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, I wouldn't say like because of the way he's playing, he don't want to be here. It's a tough one. I mean, he's only just bloody got it. So if you don't want to be here already, jeez. There is talks about Fulkrug not being settled, which I can understand.
Fuck me. I don't even think he's been here, has he?
No, but this is the thing. This is probably why he's not settled, because he's not played. He's come to a new country, joined the team. He hasn't really been able to get into part of the team because he's been injured. So he probably hasn't been able to feel that camaraderie and that connection. And he's probably feeling a bit out in the cold. And I understand it, but that's definitely not our fault. No. You know, it's not West Ham's fault. It's just going to be one of them signings that we just chalk down to being a bit of a disaster, really, all round. Just a bad move for us and a bad move for him. And
I mean, before this news come up, it was one of the things we was looking at doing was rating the strikers, which we're still painstakingly putting the pictures together for that. But that would have been tonight if the Pogba news hadn't come up. I mean, fuck me, when you look at them, we've had some fucking disasters, and we've also had strikers that have been here, been really shit, but have gone on to like really do some good. I mean, Scamacca is unreal in Italy. You know, Haller was unbelievable in Germany. Even the kid that come from Arsenal, do you remember him? The one that we signed from Spain. What was his name?
What? Perez?
Perez, yeah. He went back to Spain and he started tearing it up back there.
Yeah. That's it. Like, it's just, it's such a weird one, like, because all of them, we can say.
Tony Martinez was another one, went to Spain and fucking tore it to pieces.
Yeah. All of those, we can say, okay, we saw them in a West Ham shirt and they didn't fit. And that's what we kind of tried to do. But it's so hard with Fulkrug because we've barely got to see him. It's like, they've obviously bought him for a reason.
Why would you want to sign Pogba? Pogba in London is clearly a stupid idea. We need people who are hungry to play, and not people who are more bothered about a good night out. Geese is 31. He hasn't played in 18 months. I'm sure he'd come here and I'm sure he'd probably knuckle down for a couple of years.
Yeah, like this is the thing. The last time we saw Pogba really, you know, when did he leave Man United?
3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Yeah. So, and I don't think he's a night out type of guy. I mean, the guy don't drink, so I don't think that's an issue. And he's just going to be distracted by the bright lights of London and stuff like that.
It was a Jesse Lingard type. I would say that. You know that.
Yeah. Look, he liked these. Yeah, he liked the social media. He loved all of that stuff, right? And that you've got that wherever you go. I hope he does. He has grown up a bit. Jesse Lingard didn't really ever grow up, it seemed, but hopefully this time out he's matured. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Pogba Muslim, pretty sure he doesn't do nights out. I'm pretty sure he is as well. I have heard that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He don't drink, but it is he was a social media thing, which really, to be honest, we haven't seen him. Social media, really, I haven't seen anything in my periphery of Pogba doing these silly dances on social media. I don't care about. Yeah,
I think sometimes when you look at players, sometimes they just get it. Like Di Canio was in his last chance Salunia. If he didn't come here and do anything, he wasn't going to do anywhere. No one would take him, and we turned him into what we class as a legend here. But there we go. Just a quick one for tonight. Brilliant.
Yeah, quick news updates. Like I said, you should be seeing more of these as the news comes thick and fast, and that was an interesting one. So listen, that will ramp up, I think, after his contract ends. So we will keep on top of this one as it develops, and we'll see where he ends up. Yeah, it's out of our control either way.
We'll see. But as I said, we'll be ramping this up towards back towards Newcastle, I suppose, at the weekend. Well, it's not the weekend, is it? It's next Monday.
Monday night, Newcastle.
4 of the next 5 fixtures are midweek games. Let that sink in.
You gotta love the bloody Christmas fixtures, eh? Jeez.
Yeah. There we go. But there we go. Thank you very much for joining us. One thing left for us to say.
Come on, you guys.